Good afternoon. Actually, almost good afternoon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm great honored to be here representing the new Taipei City and the new Taipei City Mayor, Dr. Eric Liu Chu, to share with you about our city's experience in participatory budgeting for those disabled persons employment promotion. And before I start my project and describe my project, I would like to express my gratitude again to the City of Montreal and IOPD. It is always a touching moment when I see so many people come from the different countries all over the world, and we stay together to discuss how to enhance our democracy, how to make our cities better. It's always a touching moment. And so we cherish this opportunity, and we invited all of you to visit Taiwan, the new Taipei City, and there we have so many diversity cultural to be experienced. And my name is Cheo Lin. You can call me Jay Lin. You can even call me Jay Wasabi. Because my name, the pronunciation is very similar to the Japanese spicy wasabi. So when I introduce myself, I always say just call me Wasabi. And I also remember there is a very famous French movie called Wasabi, right? I am the Director General of the Secretariat for the City Government of the New Taipei City in Taiwan. And before I start my public service career, I was a journalist for 19 years, and I have a keen interest in the democratic development in Taiwan. And I believe the participatory budgeting is a very, very effective approach to make democracy in Taiwan better. Before I tell you about our city's inclusive and groundbreaking project, I would like to briefly describe my city, New Taipei City, as perhaps some of you may not be familiar with us. We are the biggest city in Taiwan, and we have the most populous populations in Taiwan with some 4 million people. And we have a population of diverse income levels, educational backgrounds, and lifestyles and cultures. Then we have a traditional manufacturing basis, high-tech centers, and an agricultural sector. And there will be a short film to introduce my cities. And I should to enhance that the traditional industry in New Taipei City provided over a quarter of the country's annual GDP. And we also have a sizable numbers of new immigrants, mainly from Southeast Asia, especially from China, and who first came to these islands for work or marriage. And they bring different language and culture to establish the New Taipei City's diverse cultural base. And stop the clock, right?
Okay, you will try.
And at the same time, I also want to explain the difference between Taipei and New Taipei, the two different metropolitan cities in Taiwan. As you know, Taipei is the capital city of Taiwan, and New Taipei is a bigger city surrounding Taipei, like in India, Delhi and New Delhi. For example, like sunny side of egg. Right, the capital Taipei is the egg yolk, and the New Taipei City is the egg white. And we used to say the egg yolk is more nutrition, right? But the doctor told us the egg white is more healthy now. This is the two cities connected by a very high, very good mass communication transit system. So many residents work in Taipei but living in the New Taipei City. And later, I want to talk about new Taiwan, my country. My country is in democracy, embrace democracy value of the country. And this is the presidential office. It was not long ago that Taiwan was under martial law and governed through one-party rule. But thanks to the persistence and hard work of many peoples, that we gradually become a democratic country. Now we have our direct presidential election in 1996. Since that, we have already had three peaceful power transfers between the two major political parties, while the other small parties also have made their voice heard. And we are confident in last year's, in January last year, we also elected our first woman president, Ms. Madam Tsai. And we are confident in our democratic values. So we have accepted regular evaluations by a panel of foreign experts as to how we implement two key United Nations accords on human and social rights. These accords have been written into our laws. I might point out that we do this despite the fact that Taiwan is not a member of the United Nations. And recently, a constitutional court ruled clear the way that Taiwan will become the first country in Asia that will allow the same-sex marriage. This is the parade for the same-sex marriage. Yeah, it's coming to the project. And in 2015, New Taipei City launched the world's first participatory budgeting initiative that focusing on employment for disabled persons in the city's Sanxia district. This is with the full support of Mayor Dr. Eric Liu. Then we did choose this district in Sanxia district. And the group of people for an experiment. Why we choose this district and this group of people? Because we know for those disabled persons, they don't have those channel platform as much as we have to express their thought, to express their need. And we saw the Sanxia's handicapped population as having a higher than average unemployment problem, and that district lacked a government labor rehabilitation center. And this is a theme that to record the entire project. Sanxia also has some unique geographic features. Hills and mountains make up much of this district, and that hurts access to employment, particularly for those disabled. But the district, this is the district, Sanxia district. Much of that is with the mountain and hill areas. But the district also has assets. It has a university and that provides a supply of teachers and students with professional skills and an enthusiasm to lend a hand. And it also has a very famous, charming old street area like the city of Montreal, and with shops and the relatively well-known Qingsui Zushi Temple, which prays to the rain and water god. And these areas draws tourists and potentially offered employment opportunities for our disabled person. And this project takes 8 months. The process including, as you can see, brainstorming, and to make proposals from community organizers and others, and voting on proposals and execution. This process included 3 town hall style meetings to collect opinions from disabled residents, and 2 workshops, training sessions for village leaders on employment and on implementations, and a workshop to train students and other volunteer participants. There also are numerous informal exchange of opinions with members of the community. Participants included government members, NGOs, academics and students, and private sectors and disabled residents. The implementation teams is fully aware that they need to create an obstacle-free environment, including the complete accessibility of information and venues. So the team had disabled individuals inspect all sites for meeting to ensure easy wheelchair access. One factor that might seriously hinder the participation of disabled population is that the regular communication tools such as telephone or internet might not be accessible to them. To overcome these problems, the implementation teams decided to mail all the information to the target group according to the address book approved by the Social Welfare Agency. It turned out that the old school methods worked very well. And the result was positive. A total of more than 1,000 individuals, many of them were with disabilities, take part in the effort. Actually, at the final, we created 5 proposals, and there are over 1,000 villages and disabled persons joining the voting days. And they finally vote to decide 2 projects. And the turnout reached 14%. I think the project 2 projects emerged: training programs and a startup support mechanism. Okay, and the February, and during last year's February, an exhibition promoting the project took place in the local community. Disabled workers who completed their training sessions offered by the PB project and proudly showcased their newly learned skills: handmade soap, jam selections, accessories, and high-quality coffee drinks, all made by disabled community members who secured a job now. And this project is not ending yet. Let me introduce 2 colleagues of mine, Mr. Lin and Ms. Wang. There, they still went to Sansha district every week, 3 times or 4 times per week, and to stay with those disabled persons to discuss the further development for secure more jobs for them. In conclusion, our Sunshine experiment was an initiative that came from the grassroots level. It reached out to those who have traditionally been uninvolved in their community and helped strengthen a participatory culture and social cohesion. It is the formula we will make use of it in the future. And to introduce more of the city's efforts, we have at least 8 departments of the city government now developing their own PB project. And we are trying to do more as the pioneer city of the country in Taiwan. Thank you for all your attention. And